We've seen some pretty remarkable B&Bs, but none quite as historic as the Riverview Mansion in Metropolis, Illinois. The Quantes were a family with a lot of money, and they put it to good use, making this home the first with a flush toilet septic system in southern Illinois.
You know, we've been experimenting with this new septic system stuff in Europe now and wanted to know if you wanted some indoor flush toilets.
Ooh.
Well, yeah, why wouldn't we want some flush toilets? How does that work? Because we don't want no pit in the backyard, stink and smell and have all that kind of bug stuff.
No, that's
No, it's a septic system. You have an indoor water closet with one of those new crappers toilets with a big tank on the wall and long pipe and the stool. And then it drains down under the floor, out through the basement into a tank buried in the backyard. Okay, then what? Well, we run little pipes from that underneath the yard so that any overflow goes under the grass and the grass gets nice and green and wet and you don't have to smell it or feel it or stink it or no bugs, no fuss, no muss. Well, yeah, can we have 2? Or 3? Well, they got 2.
As if that's not revolutionary enough for the 1880s, they decided to put a call into Edison and order some electric light bulbs. Oh, and while they're at it, let's get some electric ceiling fans from the Sears catalog.
Because the alternative was to have a belt-driven system, which everybody had at that time. You had some little kid in the backyard doing this all day long, driving a pulley with interconnected belts crisscrossing the ceiling. So if he got tired, all the ceiling fans turned off. You didn't have the opportunity of flipping a switch.
When Edison's men came to install the lights, Mr. Quante asked for something that wouldn't be patented or even done for 6 years. He asked for the lights to be wired into the ceiling fans.
This is the first example of ceiling fans with light kits in the entire world, as far as we know.
Everywhere in the house where you see a fan, they're all still in the original holes made by Edison's team. Pretty remarkable, right?
Oh, we're not done yet. No, not yet. So now you got flush toilets for the septic system. Now you have a brick concrete donut contraption that goes up and down with the water pressure. Yeah, the house literally lifts up about 2 inches in the springtime from the water pressure and then settles back down in the fall when the ground dries out. And you've got electricity, ceiling fans. Well, what else can you do with electricity? Well, Alexander Bell has been making telephones for about 10 years now, so they wanted telephones.
But that still wasn't enough. They had to have an elevator.
In order to get the elevator to work, you had a chain pull, so you pulled this part down and the elevator came to your floor, and then you stopped it. And then you got on, and there was a lever. So you had a lever onto the side and you push the lever forward and the elevator goes down. You pull the lever back, the elevator goes up. The farther forward or the farther back you pulled and pushed, the faster it went. And then you had to watch where you were in terms of the floor you were trying to get to and trying to, okay, there.
After all this remarkable history, in the 1930s, the home was turned into a hospital.
And we've had people come in and say, they fixed my broken arm in that room. Oh my gosh. I was born in this room. And so most of the people that live here in Metropolis were born in this house.
Yeah, those over 50 anyway.
Yeah. And we have a collection of birth certificates and hospital records, and every 4th of July we say, if we have your record, you come watch the fireworks on the front yard.
Eat a free barbecue, yeah.
A free barbecue or popcorn or ice cream or whatever we do that year. And they eat for free. And we all get together and they can tour the house and see the room and kind of have that experience of, yeah, it's still here.
Then it was back to a family home, and finally a beautiful bed and breakfast with some of the warmest hosts you'll ever meet.
Well, as we talked about earlier, most bed and breakfast owners or operators are all about the community. It's all about serving and making sure you have a good quality experience.
And when we were looking for a home, we actually wanted to be in a smaller community. We wanted to be able to make a difference and know who your neighbors are. And not that, I mean, everything happens in every other city, happens here too, but we all look out for each other. And that's a big difference. You also know everybody's business.
Riverview has 4 rooms you can stay in, all with jacuzzi tubs and interesting stories to tell. We don't want to spoil all the history, but if you ask Will and Lori about your room, you're in for a treat. Will's a former history professor, and he can tell you pretty much everything you'd ever want to know about the house, the town, and everything in between. Lori is a Jill of all trades. She cooks, arranges flowers, works with the library, and even makes wedding cakes. So if you decide to have your wedding at Riverview, you're in more than capable hands. We're confident that there's a B&B out there for everyone. If you love history, homemade pastries and breakfast, and innkeepers that become family, then Riverview could be the one for you. We arrived as weary travelers, and we left feeling rested, well-fed, and loved by the ones who bring the Riverview Mansion to life.
Come for the adventure and stay for the memories.